Parks out of the center circle quickly, and Roberts finds Buda on the far touchline working against Nelson. Stands his ground, remains San Jose ball though. Buda gets it all the way back. Danielle will stretch things out. Mueller right in his face. The Brazilian floats a ball up off the shoulder of Espinosa. Tate Johnson tucking it back for his keeper now. There's Laborda. Talked about him off the top with 5 goals from the back line. Ocampo is too heavy a touch. Hands the ball to Buda. And San Jose collects now and tries to get on the front foot. Arango to the corner. Buda trying to turn the corner. The corner kick conceded there by Laborda. Jesper Sorensen's group goes on the defensive here in the first half.
So pleased with the way that his team has played throughout the year. All the different cup competitions, including Wednesday night, which they won against Vancouver FC, the local side here from the Canadian Premier League. Their 4th consecutive Canadian championship.
Curling ball, Martinez denied on the goal line. What a stop. And near perfection from Martinez.
Well, last week, Ralph Priso, central midfielder by trade, forced to play in a center back position, made a goal line clearance late in the game against Seattle, and he's done it again here. Fantastic defensive work from Priso, not normally a center back.
This exclusive NetCam replay brought to you by T-Mobile.
But the right spot at the right time, read that so well, and that was something that his manager Jesper Sorensen said to us yesterday, is that although he hasn't played that position before until last week, he's got a good head on his shoulders and he reads the game extremely well. And did he ever read that one well? To keep it clean right now.
Hey, Takaoka getting some help from his defenders early on, and it's been a motley crew at times for him on the back line in front of him. But Takaoka's, for the most part, got a lot of help. Bruce Arena looking for the same from his young back line, as well as Floriani goes back for it. Safely to his keeper, but Ahmed right there. Floriani's pass quickly knocked down by Mueller.
Thomas Mueller trying to get the crowd up and going as well. He's been so good for this team. The spirit of the side. He's an on-field coach, and he gets the most out of his teammates. They've lifted their game because of his presence. Never mind what he's done in terms of actual goal contributions. 8 goal contributions in his last 4 all-competition games, including that hat trick against Philadelphia in the 7-0 game.
And he has been a showman on top of it.
I think that as much as anything else, what he's done off the field here to drive interest. Another big crowd at BC Place here today.
Floats past the touchline. Vancouver with the throw. Bruce Arena acknowledging this is year 1 of the project for the San Jose Earthquakes.
That's it. He did say he's inherited a team that needed a lot of changing, and we are who we are right now, and it's not going to change overnight. But he's been very pleased with the development of the side so far. They're in contention right to the last day, it seems, in terms of a playoff spot, and probably a lot of people wouldn't have thought that going into the season. But he says really they've been in a lot of games, a lot of close games, 1-goal games, where an individual mistake has cost them. And if they can rectify that, get a little tighter defensively, then over time, as you say, through the long build, this team has a chance.
So Rosendo Mendoza giving the warning to Sebastian Berhalter that that's now 2 rather hard fouls that he's seen. And Berhalter's one of those guys on a yellow card warning right now for the Whitecaps, and Jesper Sorensen has had to mitigate that. That's why you see the back line as it is, and there was some talk of Jeevan Bodwal maybe getting into the starting 11 for Vancouver, because Berhalter, Halbuni, who's on the bench, Tate Johnson and Laborda all sitting on yellow card warnings right now, and they've got that off-week match coming up against Orlando.
Yeah, because Orlando made it to the Leagues Cup semifinals, it pushed their game into the international break. And with so many Whitecap players missing next week, he wants to be careful not to lose players like Berhalter.
Martinez nearly gets that ball. Berhalter's toe saves the delivery and might have saved a goal. And now Berhalter has to get a diagonal ball up ahead for Ali Ahmed. Blown down anyhow by Rosendo Mendoza, and Berhalter will get the ball back on a foul behind the play.
The Whitecaps not chasing that supporters shield that they thought they might have a chance of getting at many points in the season. They've been right up near the top of the West and the entire league, but Philadelphia clinching that yesterday. But still a lot to play for in terms of wanting to win the West and keep that home field advantage right through to the final if they get so far.
Short pass there by Mueller, nicely done by Laborda, who was hung out to dry a little bit, and now Nelson in some space down the right side working against Reed Roberts. Mueller, ball in for Alumi, back to goal, back out to Mueller. Mueller takes a shot and off the post. Danielle now has to scramble to get back up as the cross goes across the face of goal. No harm done on the second phase. Espinosa battling with Johnson, who is able to come up with the ball. And a yellow card comes out for Christian Espinosa now.
Bruce Arena can't believe it, nor can Espinosa himself. Excellent defending from Tate Johnson, the youngster out of Florida, a super draft pick of their own from the Whitecaps, who gets body position on Espinosa. Here's the chance for Vancouver. It was good interchange play between Alumi and Mueller from inside the D has Danielle at full stretch. Fantastic save from Danielle, who was superb in the game against San Diego last week to keep the clean sheet. But there's the good body positioning from Johnson, and then just a little heavy there from Espinosa to take the youngster down.
12 minutes in here at BC Place. First yellow card of the evening going to Espinosa. Danielle looking up to catch another glimpse of the foul and the save, most likely. You see the grimace.
No, he didn't care about the foul. He was very pleased with that save, as if he had scored a goal himself.
The free kick curled in. Ahmed trying to save it on the byline, just does, but then spilt, and a chance for Floriani to get San Jose headed in the right direction. And another foul. This one from behind there as Vieira gets the better of Berhalter. The quick restart is a good one, says Mendoza, so that ball just given away cheaply by Vancouver. Muni distributes to Floriani. In the middle, Harks has that ball stolen. Alumi can't get a shot away, just kind of popped off his boot right into the waiting arms of Danielle. And now they'll pause for Harks to recover here.
Well, it's an example again of the Whitecaps right down the throat of the center midfielders and winning the ball back, but again giving it back cheaply.
The player spotlight presented by Allstate. You are in good hands. Sebastian Berhalter, of course, the man in the midfield that will be tasked with creating a lot of the offense, that link up to Mueller. And with 10 assists, two of the better setup men in the league here, with Espinosa on one side and Berhalter on the other.
And 6 goals, 14 assists in all competitions. Remember, the Whitecaps were in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, went right to the final. Mentioned the Canadian Championship as well. And in league play, he has been outstanding, and the link man to finding the danger areas for Vancouver, which is down the flanks. Nelson now on the right side, Ahmed on the left, as they'll flop and switch back and forth.
So showing his midfielder instincts to fill the space there, but now has to get back to defending with Arango making the turn. Martinez spreading out wide. Floriani nearly lost, or pardon me, Kikanovic nearly lost control, and he did ultimately. Ball creeping over the touchline. Johnson get that over Espinosa. Gubas dispossessed cleanly by Espinosa. Now Arango looking for Martinez, and it just got through him. An opportunity lost for San Jose.
Gubas just laboring on the ball a bit, and Espinosa doing a nice job defensively something that he'll commit to for this San Jose team. He drops a little bit deeper than the front men on occasion. And good defensive work. They will pressure from the front, San Jose, and that's something that Jesper Sorensen talked about needing to adjust to, this man-type oriented marking. But they feel if they can break that pressure, then there's the space in behind to attack.
Campo opened it up for Alumi, tried to skip it over for Mueller, eventually onto it, and then outside of the foot. Ahmed won't win the race, though. Back to the ball. It'll have to be an offensive throw here now for Vancouver. Quickly sent back in by Mueller. Priso to Kubas. Nelson, Berhalter, and now Kubas in the center circle once more. Diagonal ball out for Ali Ahmed on the flanks. Ahmed cutting in. Mueller inside the box. Out to Berhalter. Can't get the shot away now with his left foot, and it'll be well off the mark. Danielle watches that comfortably.
Now the Whitecaps are really pinning back the wing backs of San Jose. Kekanovic on the right side, Buda on the left side. It's a back five at times now, with those players not able to get forward. And Ahmed, again, it's good one-touch, two-touch passing inside the area. Nice move from Berhalter there to get the shooting chance, but he doesn't get much on it and doesn't hit the target.
Priso knocking that down right into the path of Arango. Missed Espinosa. To double back onto it. Double team now on that side. Ahmed helping out defensively. Caps trying to extricate themselves from the corner here. Tate Johnson backed up. Sends it down the touchline. Skipped it to Mueller. Now Alumi holding up the ball, waiting for Ahmed. There was a hold there from Daniel Muni, spotted by Rosendo Mendoza.
And Jesper Sorensen appreciates that center forward play from Alumi, the young Tunisian Canadian player from Edmonton, but some possibility that he will join Tunisia in the international break as well. And what you want from your center forward, as they do from Brian White so often when he plays, is to hold the ball up, allow the other players to join the attack, and he does a nice job to win the free kick.
Given away by Nelson, but they give it right back, and it's a Campo in space. Buda came back to defend nicely on the left foot. Skips past Ahmed, stopped by Danielle, laying out to his left as the Whitecaps muscled that ball inside.
And a good nose for the goal right now. Ali Ahmed in good scoring form, not in MLS, but in the Canadian Championship. A couple of goals, and he reads this well, where it bounces off the deflection there, gets a shooting chance away, not much on it. And Danielle down to his left saves comfortably.
7 assists on the season for Ali Ahmed, but he's the one notable absentee from the scoring list on the year for the Whitecaps, who spread that scoring responsibility around, despite another great season for Brian White at 16 goals.
Well, you think about 19 different goal scorers, and Ali Ahmed not amongst them. So he's certainly due in MLS play, as I mentioned, has been doing it in the Canadian Championship games.
Takoka looking for the sprint. Kekanovic versus Ahmed. And he works to create a throw at the very least.
More defensive work for Kekanovic. Very responsible. Good versatile player who'll play any position you ask him to. Anywhere along the front line, the wide positions, even in the back where he's pretty much pinned to right now in the right back spot.
Bandage being played there as Vieira was clipped by Alumi, so they'll bring that ball back. Meanwhile, Atlanta United looking to ruin LAFC's push for a top 4 finish. They travel to the City of Angels for Sunday night soccer. Can Sun and Denny Bouanga lead LAFC to a 5th consecutive win, or will Atlanta spoil the party? You can find out soon, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on your MLS season pass. Always nice to get a sprinkle of Sunday action. These 2 matches here today. Finishing off match day 38 of the season. Floriani able to sidestep Thomas Mueller. Espinosa now over the top for Martinez, just too heavy. Takaoka out to play it, and then Espinosa As eventually the flag comes out on Joseph Martinez.
That is prime Espinoza, though. Exactly what he'll look to do. Get on the ball from a deeper position. Look to play in that ball over the top. And in MLS right now, 105 key passes if you included that one, which is most in the league in terms of chances that lead to a shot. That one, of course, called on the offside, but something that the Whitecaps will need to be very careful of is him getting on the ball, because he's quick to release it, and more often than not, it's very accurate in the path of the attacking player.
Ambitious pass from Kubas, easily picked off there by Roberts. Espinosa, the wrong side of Harks. Berhalter fouled as he made the outlet pass. But there has been some inroads here for San Jose. It hasn't been a purely counter game plan yet from Bruce Arena's squad through 20 minutes. Berhalter again going the long diagonal pass. They're really testing Kikanovic versus Ahmed, and so far Kikanovic up to the task.
They play a really high line, San Jose. They trust that speed, that athleticism, the youth that they've got in the back right now to deal with those balls in behind. It allows them to compress the field, get more bodies around the ball to try to turn it over and be closer to goal when they do get it. But that is going to be an interesting matchup. Can the Whitecaps speed find that space in behind? They need the accuracy in the balls played over, of course. But right now, 1v1 Ahmed versus Kikanovic has been the individual battle that we've been focusing on.
Muni back to retrieve. Tucking it back for Danielle. San Jose being tested now. Press was full-throated there from Vancouver. San Jose to the halfway line at the very least now. Vieira tries to switch. Too advanced though, and Buddha won't catch up to it.
They're fun teams to watch though, aren't they? They're two teams that want to attack. Jesper Sorensen was saying about going into Seattle with a bit of a short man team, some injuries, that there's nothing to be afraid of, even against a team that is strong as the Sounders have been over the years in Seattle. And that's the way that they feel this year, the Whitecaps, that they can play and beat any team anywhere. And you get a bit of a sense of that too from San Jose, who's played well on the road this year. It's their home form that's really let them down.
Does not appear there's a bus to be parked in this one. Might not even be on the property as Ocampo. It's a slide tackle on Buddha to slow up the earthquake attack.
I asked Bruce Arena that. Do you ever get the sense that you might just want to bunker against a good team like this, then use those attacking players? He wants some enthusiasm around this team in San Jose. He wants to be in a attacking team that's fun to have the fans come and watch at PayPal, and I think he's done that in year one. They've continued to score. The problem is they've continued to leak goals as well as they did last year. A bit better than last year in that regard, but that's something they'll need to clamp down on.
Opponent XG over 60 for San Jose, and that just cannot be. But a nice move by Vieira right there, but the pass to link up with Joseph Martinez doesn't connect. Laborda back to his keeper. Takaoka looking for Tate Johnson, chests it down.
These two teams are number 1 and 2 in their expected goals, though, so that is where we're getting this attack-minded soccer, and it's been great to watch just 23 minutes in here.
Kikanovic jumping up into the fray there to steal the ball with the cross in for Martinez, but sent out by Laborda. It'll be a throw for San Jose, and that anticipation from Kikanovic was right on the money. Looking for his options, but Whitecaps doing well to mark. That one spins out for a corner now for San Jose, and Espinosa goes into his office.
And it is his office, isn't it? He always leads the league in corners. Such a good crosser of the ball. This is a good opportunity for San Jose now from a dead ball situation. Try to find a way home. Whitecaps conceded from a corner kick against Seattle last week.
Each team with 6 corner kick goals on the season, ranking 4th in MLS. Espinosa being asked to wait as Rosendo Mendoza directs traffic near the spot. They're ready to roll. Buda creeps in for the short option. Espinosa, outswinger. Mueller gets a piece. Vieira floats the ball back in towards goal, but Takok out to make a play on it. And he'll get them started early. Ahmed knocking the ball down, looking for Nelson. Couldn't quite find him. Vieira staying with the play, able to disrupt.
The value of a goalkeeper, too, that is so good with his feet that time out of the hands, but able to put it right into the path of Ahmed again on the break. And when the kick was made, he was inside his own half, so onside.
Deflecting, and it'll be a San Jose throw. Should be over 25,000 in attendance today at BC Place. Beautiful early fall day. And now some attendance is needed from the trainers as Floriani gets a nick.
Second overall draft pick, who has now not made himself a regular, but started the last couple of games alongside his other high draft pick from last year, Reed Roberts, on the left side.
Whitecaps are back in action, sorry, Paul, on October the 11th as they travel to Orlando. We mentioned it's an international window, but both teams will find a way to get the requisite amount of people on the pitch. Action kicks off at 7:30 Eastern right here on your MLS Season Pass. A rare East-West match in the penultimate game of the season for those two squads.
And that game being pushed back meant that the Whitecaps had a period of time where they were off for 3 weeks as well. But it also gave time for Thomas Mueller to bed into the team, into the training sessions, and get them amped up and prepared for the back end of the season. Jesper Sorensen was talking about, after the CONCACAF Champions Cup loss to Cruz Azul, parking that and focusing on the second part of the season. And have they ever done a good job of that after a terrific first half? And to continue that momentum even after that loss that really crushed them. That obviously helped when Thomas Mueller joined, and Bruce Arena alluded to that, is that they've got a good team, plus they've got this guy number 13 who's just added that little bit more to an already good team.
Looked like Max Floriani had a makeshift splint made up on the spot there, so he might have had a finger bent in the wrong direction. He'll be back on the pitch shortly, but Vieira back to defend right now as Ahmed is draped all over him. Tucked back, and it will escape. It's the second corner that's just been handed to the Whitecaps early in this first half.
Handed to them, but it's because of the Whitecap pressure. They're just not dealing with it all that well. Vieira on this occasion, hassled by Ahmed, puts it well wide of the goalkeeper. Danielle can't keep that one in play, and now they'll have to face a corner kick from the ever dangerous Sebastian Berhalter. They scored from a corner kick with Laborda getting on the end of it. That's the target here for the Whitecaps from these set plays.
Laborda right at the edge of the 6 right now, often charges towards the corner in which it's coming from. Stays put this time, and it goes right in, almost an own goal on the doorstep. Danielle with another fabulous stop. Mueller tries to send it back towards the mixer. Ahmed down. Mueller stuck on the outer edges, looking for an option. Sees one in Sebastian Berhalter. Back to the German. Dangerous pass, but just gets through to Berhalter. Ocampo on his wrong side right now. Still the remnants of that corner. Nelson for Priso. Back to Mueller. Wide for Kubas. Everybody's still all jumbled up. Right is left as Ocampo is stuck here on that left side. Priso back for Laborda. They did, by the way, take a quick look at that corner for possible handball, but that has been cleared. So they will play on. Ahmed charging from the right side. And the foul is called. So it'll be a free kick for Vancouver from a decent spot here, Dolan.
You know, when Danielle is good, he can be great. And this is a fantastic reaction save from in close. Some question whether maybe this hit a hand or there's a penalty. But that, as you say, was cleared. But Danielle, he's let in a couple of clangers this year, ones that he'd know should have been saved right through the hands on a couple of occasions. But he was outstanding last week against San Diego. Terrific first half save that he got down low to. One of the best in the league a couple of years ago, and he's having a good start to this game through half an hour.
Almost 78% save percentage 2 years ago, what you're talking about, and it's below 70 this year. So it is a different caliber, but that tells you where the high end is for a guy like Danielle. Berhalter surveying. Not quite ready to go from the head referee. Now says we're ready. Berhalter going back post. Mueller is there, but the foul at the edge of the 6 as the youngster bowls over his man, Daniel Mooney. These are the team benches built by the Home Depot, and a good-looking bench in theory here for the Whitecaps. Emmanuel Sabi's fabulous offensive season is there, but he's got a little bit of an issue that they'd rather not test. Ryan Gauld, of course, on the bench, as we talked about, and some options like the Canadian Mark-Anthony Kaye back into his homeland here could jump off, and Preston Judd, of course, scored the dramatic game winner for this season series back in San Jose earlier this season. Behind Martinez there, goes for a goal kick.
The Whitecaps felt hard done by after that game. They felt that an early sending off of Eddie Ocampo changed the tone of that game. There was a controversial penalty against the Whitecaps later in that game as well. You mentioned the Judd winner late, and Vancouver eventually they actually had that decision overturned, Ocampo's suspension, but it didn't help in that game, and the Whitecaps felt that that was a game they probably should have got full points from and ended up losing.
Mueller, Illumi leaving for Nelson. Nelson coming over centrally now to his fellow winger, opposite winger Ali Ahmed. Ahmed charging towards the corner of the box. Back for Nelson. Nelson, he's trapped. White all around him. And now Arango has a chance to counter the other way. A little bit of a heavy touch, though, and Laborda stepped up. Wide for Ocampo. Resists the urge to cross, leaves it for Berhalter. Clangs off the defender, and it'll be another corner for Vancouver. Third of the afternoon.
Not like Christian Arango to lose the ball like that as he did. Usually so good in securing the ball, and that's something that the manager for the Whitecaps, Jesper Sorensen, was worried about, is that they tend to keep the players in those attacking positions at front three up top. They don't chase the ball back. So when the Whitecaps lose the ball, San Jose has that threat going forward the other way, but now from the corner kick, everyone back to try to defend.
Berhalter from the opposite side now. Outswinging ball. Stung low into the edge of the 6th and out the other side. Ahmed to retrieve. Ahmed teed up Nelson. Skies that over the crossbar. So both teams just nibbling at the edges. Only half chances to speak of outside of the own goal possibility there from Muni, and the one save that he pushed off the post early on as well. It's 10-15 minutes. The final third has not been there for either side.
San Jose does not want to be in a position where they're trailing going into the half.
Well, they are perfect. They are unbeaten at the very least when they've got a lead at the half, and that one stung ahead of Espinosa. And fine margins here for San Jose. 3, I think, Dolly, where the through ball weighting is just off a little bit. Otherwise, it's been very promising for San Jose.
And remember, they're playing against a back four that has not played together all that much. Just the second time now. They played last week together in Seattle, but very quickly Ralph Priso has settled into that back position. But it's hard to get your line just right especially against an experienced front three who know how to make those runs at the right time. But so far tonight, they've caught the Earthquakes 3 times in the offside position.
It's been a bit of a cruiserweight battle here with both sides just taking swings, but not a lot coming just yet. We'll see. He's able to make it click in this final third. Ocampo inside for Alumi. Back heel, hoping that the German was behind him, but Mueller saw that go past him. Floriani sidestep Ahmed back to the keeper once again. What does Danielle do for it? And that is past Espinosa as the press works again to create turnover of some sort for Vancouver. Kubas quickly onto it. He'll switch over to Ocampo. Nelson give and go with Ocampo. He charges towards the box, taken out of the play. Buda with the pass ahead, and now San Jose gets the benefit of the call.
Very well read from Reed Roberts. And these young center backs who have stepped in this year and been given the run right now by their manager, they've done a nice job defending. This is Roberts getting body position there and stealing the ball away from Ocampo, who's got all sorts of speed down that right-hand side. Good defensive play.
And a good subtle little grab at the end because, you know, they're just getting mixed up. Made sure that Ocampo couldn't quickly double back.
And the value of super draft picks still alive in MLS. 3 along the back I mentioned for San Jose here tonight, and acquitting themselves really well in the games that they've played.
Espinosa lost the ball. Tate Johnson has been quite aggressive in that fullback position here for Vancouver. He's come up with a pair of steals now on Espinosa. Back under pressure from Morango, just got the pass away. Nelson tries to make the turn, keeps possession at the very least, left it for Berhalter. Berhalter thought about going over the top and decides against it now. He'll settle for the switch to Ahmed. Back for Johnson. So you talk about draft picks, there's Vancouver's. Kubas for Priso. Berhalter turns, lofts out ahead for Ahmed. Ahmed versus Floriani. And attracts the foul, and a yellow card comes out for young Max Floriani. Pardon me, Kekanovic tracking back. It is Kekanovic with the yellow card.
Well, Kekanovic has been playing so far deep back alongside Floriani that he is able to come across, but uses that left leg to impede Ahmed. And with the speed that Ahmed had, he goes flying over tea kettle, so to speak. And the yellow card comes out for Kekanovic.
So that same side of the pitch starting to get painted yellow. Espinosa on yellow, as is Kekanovic. Vancouver might just continue to hammer away down that side.
It's been their route so far, even before the yellow card, but now that maybe lights up a little bit more even as the way to go if there's a choice between going left or right.
And this is the second free kick from about this distance from the other side last time out. Here in the 39th minute, Berhalter going back post, and it's in! Alumi. First time back post, and the kid has his first since his opener. Second MLS goal for Alumi. And the home side is up 1-0.
Well, they say that set-piece goals are all about the delivery, and so often they are, especially when Sebastian Berhalter is on the serving end. But credit the youngster for making up the ground at the back post from a deep position, 15 or 16 yards out, all the way to the end line. Pays for it with a running into the goal post, but more than happy to do so to give the Whitecaps a lead. Another great ball in. Nothing the San Jose defense can do about that with the on-rushing Alumi. And his second goal since making his debut a few weeks ago. What a way to open it here in Vancouver.
My eyes and those of the Earthquakes probably on Laborda. You could see flying through your screen. He narrowly missed driving that with the head. And Instead, it got through to Alumi at the back post. Kikanovic working against Johnson as San Jose looks to answer quickly. Espinosa popped that one way up in the air. Buda collects it nicely. On a second attempt, able to get the ball back. Plays it ahead to himself at the byline with the cross. Out the other side, Kikanovic still in the box. Whipped it in. Kubas with the block. Espinosa thought about another cross. Instead, will tuck it back. This one is intercepted, though, by the goal scorer, Alumi. Ahmed dribbling up the touchline. Will tuck it back to the wide-open Tate Johnson. And the Whitecaps settle things down a little bit. Good answer early on by San Jose, trying to stay with it here on a second phase, but Martinez can't get it back. A couple ahead for Alumi. Nice play to come across there from Floriani. Buda missed his pass, stolen by Nelson. Berhalter, the cross. There's Wheeler back in front, and Alumi denied the brace.
And so intelligent from Thomas Mueller, doing exactly what you should in this situation. Great touch again from Berhalter to put it onto the head of Thomas Mueller, and then he lays it right down into the path onto the left foot. Just that little bounce off the carpet, maybe throws Alumi off so that he gets his foot underneath the ball and goes over rather than driving through it. He would have loved to have come over the ball and scored 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes, but not able to do it a second time.
It's been a while, I'm going to guess, since Thomas Mueller has worked with an 18-year-old striker, but such is life with the Whitecaps. The match rankings are presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything, and here are the match rankings for passes, and the top 5 all in favor of the Whitecaps as another yellow card comes out.
And that's Chicho Arango, and I think getting too close to the free kick is what the referee is saying to him. And you look at those match rankings and you see where the ball domination has been, and it's not because San Jose has intentionally sat back. They've been pinned back by good Whitecap pressure. It's not allowed them to get in the open and use players like Arango in the attack.
So 3 yellows, all of the Earthquakes right now. Kubas. Jaden Nelson. Laborda tucking it back for Ralph Priso. Sidesteps Arango. A little frozen. Finally able to offload to Mueller. Mueller strangely back right now. Will win it back. Created the turnover to Ocampo. Ocampo again. Inside from Mueller. And then the exchange with Nelson. Nelson has some room. Charging towards the area. Bumped off the ball, and Danielle comes out to meet him. And danger averted for the Quakes.
And enough again from Roberts, who does well, even though there's a great touch from Thomas Mueller to spring Jaden Nelson free down the side. And he's one of the quickest players in the league, if not the Whitecaps itself. But Roberts up to the task.
Espinosa back the other way. Foul committed behind the plate.
And the touches from Thomas Mueller. It's just ridiculous how easy he makes it look, because all it takes is a yard here or there off of that perfection that he's given Nelson, and the whole play comes to a screeching halt. But he puts it right into the path of Nelson, who probably should have done a little bit better there with the edge on Roberts. But a good recovery from the youngster.
Floriani chased back Muni just to give it back to the 22-year-old Floriani, who probably did not dream at the start of this season that he'd be sidestepping Thomas Mueller in a match at some point, but such is the case for the youngster. Goes for a lot of players in Major League Soccer, I think.
And that is the thing when we look ahead to maybe the second half that Jesper Sorensen wants to see as well. He at some point wants to see Ryan Gaul play with Thomas Mueller as well. Get some minutes before the playoffs. Of course, they're going to wrap him in cotton batting to make sure that he doesn't get injured. That's the first line of business for the Whitecaps, is to make sure that any minutes you're giving Ryan Gauld are just with a view towards getting some fitness. But you do not want a setback in that situation. But he does want to see how those two can play together as well.
Never mind White, Gauld, and Mueller all on the pitch. Hey, every team wants to be healthy, right? But Whitecaps are maybe at the top of that list. San Jose would love to have some fullbacks in the offense as we get to added time of 2 minutes here in this opening half. And the first yellow card for a Whitecap comes out. Looks like towards Andres Kubas, who has been aggressive in his defending.
Just a little bit too heavy coming in from behind on Buda there. Always aggressive. We saw the challenge earlier in the half, and now he sees the yellow card right as we head into the break here shortly.
Muni will come over and take it. Still over a minute to go here in added time, so more than enough time for San Jose to build something on this possession. Ball's heavy though. Ocampo for Nelson. Brewer coming over to help, bounding near that touch line. And a free kick here to San Jose. Will they treat this as a set piece or the quick start? No, they're going to load up at the edge of the box here and try to nab an equalizer before they head into the room.
You know, Reed Roberts had a tough time a couple of games ago against Austin. Was pulled off after 36 minutes after conceding a couple of goals down his side. But he's the one who set up this free kick with nice footwork down the flank there. And he's really growing into this position as a left-sided center back, as San Jose will get one last crack before the end of the half.
Espinoza from distance, but certainly within range for him to create something with his magic. And hurtling with speed as that curls in towards the danger area. Arango headed down by Alumi. Ahmed flying through, able to come up with the ball, and the Whitecaps appear to have averted danger there. Mueller spinning away. Priso under pressure. Kubas on the open half of the field in the dying seconds of this first half. The referee letting them finish off with this drive. Ocampo creates the corner, but a moment too late, as the point is made in the first half is in the books here at BC Place, with the Whitecaps forced to be content with a 1-0 lead.
And it was a good first half from both teams, but in particular from Vancouver. And from that man there, the youngster again, Ryan Alumi, scoring his second MLS goal from the set play. The only way that the Whitecaps have been able to break down San Jose through 45 minutes.
The teenager licking his chops with his second MLS goal. Back to wrap up the first half in a moment.
Lowe's knows running a home or business can add up fast. And with a free MyLowe's Rewards membership, your earnings add up fast too. Earn points toward MyLowe's money, get member-only deals, and free shipping. Join for free and get more with Lowe's.
Listos? You know the drill. No, the drill.
That's not going anywhere.
Are we gonna practice or what?
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal.
No. And if you don't have the right auto coverage, this could really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Almost done.
Come on, man, let's get it.
Good is good enough for some, but not for you. Because you know there's nothing like traveling the world with the largest curated global hotel program and having a place to land with the largest global airport lounge network. Nothing like having dining benefits at over 10,000 Resi restaurants and having access to unique experiences worldwide. For a life like no other, you need a card like no other. There's nothing like Platinum.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can focus on what matters most.
Hey, Mama. You remember when you taught me how to fish? Yeah, you were the best teacher. Yeah, feeling a little nostalgic right now, that's all.
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day service. That's all part of the AT&T Guarantee, brought to you by America's largest wireless network.
Welcome to the Audi halftime report for BC Place, where the homeside Whitecaps have a 1-0 lead on the San Jose Earthquakes, and every fan enjoying chicken fingers and the match in front of them right now. Two of the best offenses in Major League Soccer walking onto the pitch at the outset of this one. We thought it might be shot-filled, and instead it was played between the boxes, but both sides having to settle for a lot of half chances. But one of those came right in the opening seconds as Ocampo gets right into the box.
They've been threatening to attack, and you feel like the chances are about to come. There have been one or two shots. Danielle's been sharp on the occasion where he's had to make saves. Takaoka hasn't made a save yet, but Ralph Priso did from this corner kick. That's the second time in consecutive weeks that Priso has done a really good job to immediately recognize the danger, drop to the line, and make a big clearance off the goal line. Whitecaps always like to attack from the flanks. They're so good from those areas. And Mueller underneath as well has been integral in creating goal-scoring chances. One of his own here is when he gets the ball back from the 1-2 of the Lumi. He's able to stretch the goalkeeper, Danielle, to his left, off the post and out. But there was the shot that the Whitecaps felt they could try to replicate and get more chances from. Again, Ocampo down the right side. This one comes in, and kind of a half chance, not a lot behind that from Ali Ahmed.
But again, on that notable absentee list of goal scorers for the Whitecaps, and nearly able to get his first of the MLS campaign. Now out of the corner from Berhalter.
And Sebastian Berhalter's delivery so often is so dangerous, whether or not it's a Whitecap who gets ahead to it, or even the opportunity maybe for an own goal like this one that came off of Roberts. Good reaction save from Danielle, and then here's the goal. It's another good delivery. A curving ball from Berhalter to the back post. No Earthquake able to deal with it because Alumi from about 15 or 16 yards makes the sprint to the back post and scores his second goal as a Whitecap.
So modest totals in terms of shots on target. The total shots of the Whitecaps will be in the vicinity of what they wanted, but expected goals 1.9 for the Whitecaps and just 0.14, which seems a little bit low given the quality of the chance there you saw from Joseph Martinez.
And the shots are going to come for San Jose. They lead the league in shots and shots on target. They need to get themselves going in the second half, as they so often do.
The race to the Golden Boot is presented by Audi, the official automotive partner of Major League Soccer. And the best just keep getting better, don't they? Sam Surridge, a late one. For the Golden Boot for the rest of the year, but what a fabulous season for everybody on that list. The race is heating up for the league's top scorers as Messi, Surridge, and others sprinting towards the checkered flag to see who takes home the coveted MLS Golden Boot presented by Audi. Still 1-0 here at BC Place, and the keepers doing it themselves, getting some help from the woodwork and defenders.
The next chapter of Audi performance is here. With Quattro all-wheel drive, you can feel and interiors refined to elevate every mile. One thing's clear: performance never goes out of style.
A superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can explore the neighborhood or live like a local. Unplug for the day or plunge into a long weekend. With IHG's 20 hotel brands, you can guest how you guest.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's exquisite. I could never.
With Walmart's express delivery, you could, as fast as an hour.
Who knew? Who knew?
Interesting. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Can we stop for food?
No, hay comida en la casa.
Julie needs tires. But to Julie, buying tires feels about the same as getting robocalls. Annoying. Don't answer that call, Julie. Discount Tire presents Treadwell. With just a few clicks, Treadwell analyzes millions of data points and delivers personalized results to you. Simple. Easy. Finally, you have someone who cares.
Let's get you taken care of.
Welcome back to the Audi halftime report. 1-0, Vancouver leads San Jose through 45 minutes of play. On a beautiful sunny day with everybody back into their short sleeves here in October in Vancouver. Taking a look at match day 38 around the league. Montreal had a 1-0 lead late versus Nashville. Mentioned that surge goal. There it is. Past the 80-minute mark to get the point for Nashville. FC Dallas with a critical 2-1 win over Galaxy. And look at Seattle with the 1-0 win over Portland. Never can count out the Sounders late in the season when they've got some mojo and momentum going. Minnesota as well with a convincing 3-0 win over Sporting KC. The rewarding performance is presented by Capital One, and Sebastian Berhalter has been providing many of them this season.
Another good set piece, very similar to the ones where he hits Matthias Laborda. This time from the opposite side, you saw the almost own goal that was created from that, and then the goal. Alumi at the back post, and he's just trying to find a space, Berhalter. And he does it so well, so deliberate with his set pieces. Sebastian Berhalter, he's been one of the best Whitecap performers all season long. 11th assist of the season, and here is where a lot of those shots that he's created with his shot assists have come from. A few from outside, but you can see inside the area, pretty convincing as well, which is what got the expected goals up to 1.90. And San Jose will want to avoid giving them those opportunities in the second half. Berhalter anywhere near the area can be deadly. Second half action next on your MLS Season Pass.
Seattle makes noise. We were here. Added time in Philly? Of course. LA captures the cup? Legendary. For 15 seasons and counting, we've had the best view in the house. Join us every week to see what happens next.
Say hello to the Mini Countryman. It's not your average Joe's SUV, but you're not an average Joe, are you? Plus, you've got kids, and kids have got stuff, making the SUV of Mini just right. A Mini SUV? Isn't that breaking the rules? Well, mate, we break the rules all the time. When you're ready for a real adventure, Let's mini.
All right. Same thing?
Yup. This is our year.
You know, if getting AT&T's best deal on the new iPhone 17 Pro without needing the most expensive plan taught me anything, it's that switching things up can be a good call. So how about we try something that's timeless?
Oh, yeah. Good call. Ooh. Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us. Designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet. Most expensive plan not required.
Lowe's knows running a home or business can add up fast. But with a free MyLowe's Rewards membership, your earnings add up fast too. Earn points toward MyLowe's money, get member-only deals, and free shipping. Join for free and get more with Lowe's.
Hey, did you just like a photo of me from 3 years ago?
Goldfish have short memories. Be like goldfish.
I didn't know you studied abroad.
At RBC Wealth Management, we know you have ideas for your future. Ideas that can have you taking more time off or putting more time in. They could mean more peace and quiet or more fun and games. Ideas you can drive or that drive you. From settling in to living it up, what ideas will you bring to life? Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Welcome back to Vancouver, BC. This broadcast of MLS on Apple TV is presented by T-Mobile. Great look at the early fall day here in Vancouver, BC. The clouds have parted, sunny day, and the Whitecaps are hoping it shines on them a little while longer. 1-0 at the half for the Whitecaps over the visiting Earthquakes. Both sides really wanting the full 3 points. A draw does neither side any favors. The supporters camp brought to you by Lowe's. Visit Lowe's for the ultimate assist on your next project, and you can see the fabulous day it was for the supporters as they made their march through the streets into the stadium before the match. Good vibes there, and they continued through 45 minutes once they eventually got inside BC Place Stadium as well. And here's a look at the supporter shield, now clinched by the Philadelphia Union, courtesy their victory yesterday. 20 wins on the season for Philadelphia. They've been a pleasure to watch, and now nobody can catch them. A bit of hardware already in their locker.
Well, the Whitecaps thought there might be an outside possibility. They could still get to 66 points, but with 20 wins versus the Whitecaps' only possible 19, that is the tiebreaker. And of course, Cincinnati and San Diego having something to say about that as well. But the Whitecaps now with their eyes on trying to win the West to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs until the final, which theoretically could be in Philadelphia. But if Philadelphia is knocked out and the Whitecaps went through, it could be back here too. So still lots to play for on that end. And of course, for San Jose, it's all about hanging on till the end, at least give themselves a chance on the final day to get into the playoffs. And they make a change with Noel Butt coming into the game to start the second half.
Taking off Ian Hartz at the half. 20-year-old American will try to make an impact on this one. A little bit of a delay here.
Okay, there's a guy with a broom and a bucket. What do we think's happening
Making a
here?
long jog across the pitch.
Okay.
And apparently
Someone's
the
not
nerves
feeling
got the
well.
better of somebody. There is a bit of a puddle. Lunch didn't sit well with somebody on one of the two teams, and so there's a little bit of a cleanup in aisle 5 before we get going in this one. And judging by the one guy rinsing out his mouth, it might have been Usemi Buddha.
Well, it is an early kickoff. Most of the games this season have been at 7:30 local time, 3 o'clock this afternoon in Vancouver. But a great day for soccer. The roof open at BC Place, another big crowd. And you would expect more fireworks in the second half in terms of shots created. Mentioned that San Jose leads the league in that category. and are second in expected goals after the Whitecaps. So they'll come out flying here. They need to get something to get back on the board. They haven't been shut out in 15 games, so they're a team that's likely to get goal-scoring opportunities.
San Jose doing better in these last two matches. Obviously, the clean sheet versus San Diego, and just the one goal here. So the defending is coming for San Jose. They surrendered those 10 goals on their 3-game losing streak before the San Diego match. So it's coming for them. And in a lot of ways, just surrendering the one shot on target in that opening half is a step in the right direction for Christian Espinosa and his side. Again, 60 expected goals for the opponents against San Jose. Jesper Sorensen would like to get those stats in his direction here in the second half. Although 1.9, not too shabby.
And I think I said 15 games. It's 18 straight games that San Jose scored at least a goal. Just 2 games they've been clean sheeted this year. So the attacking potential is there. No Buck, he'll cause some havoc up front as well.
And here we go in the second half as Daniel Muni sends it deep. Ocampo competing with Buddha. That squirts towards Takaoka, who will hold on. Tate Johnson. Central from Mueller. Tough ball for him to handle. Still competing for it, and it'll be Vancouver ball on the far line. There's Buck looking for his first touch. Jumped up and hit a hand. Vancouver inching forward here. Mueller touches that back for Kubas. Takaoka holding. Able to find Tate Johnson. Mueller lets that one get through. Illumi competing with Muni. Tries to find his keeper and just got that past the foot of Illumi. Danielle pleading for a target. Finally finds one in Buddha and ricochets off of Campo. So tight defensive play here to start this second half. But it's going to be very interesting. Again, a point, not even a point, does the San Jose Earthquakes really any good. And they're not just looking for playoff positioning. They need to make sure they get into the playoffs here as they're below the bar. What do we see from Bruce Arena's crew here in the second half? Because they have to take all chances.
I think that's what ends up happening too, is that they send those wing backs a little further forward than we saw in the first half, where they were really pinned back by the Whitecaps, so they had to do a lot of defending. But now, with Illumi scoring for Vancouver to open the scoring, they need to find an equalizer. And then, as you say, more on top of that, as you look at the challenge here on Buddha, hasn't had a great last 5-6 minutes, has he?
Campo with his booking. So it's 2 yellow cards now on the Vancouver side of the ledger. He and Kubas. Priso gave it away. Martinez on the right foot. It's partially blocked and then lands on top of the goal. So Priso tested there as the flag eventually comes up as offside on Martinez, but that was a nervy moment.
That's the player you don't want to give the ball to, with a little misstep there as Priso had, but the linesman had put the flag up, indicating that the ball forward, there was an offside already. And so Priso with a bit of a let off there.
Central. He couldn't do anything with it, and now it's Mueller. Off to the races, Thomas Mueller to Jaden Nelson. Nelson lost it, kept it on the byline, and now battling with Roberts for the ball. It'll go back to San Jose as the charge forward by the superstar German goes for naught.
Well, there's the giveaway in central midfield, and going the other way again. I talk about the weight of the passes. It's the perfect ball for Nelson, although it was well defended again so that Nelson couldn't get the shot away immediately. He elected to wait till it went to the end line, and after he put the foot on it, he ends up fouling the San Jose player and giving away the free kick. And speaking to Jesper Sorensen about Nelson, he needs a bit more from him to be consistent, not just a big moment player.
The cross goes behind Illumi. And now Kekanovic coming back. He and Ahmed dueling again. One back by the Canadian Central for Nelson. Berhalter for Muller. Floated up. Ahmed is there, bounding towards the goalkeeper, and Danielle's able to calm things down for San Jose, and a quick restart going the other way for Espinosa.
Another good ball in. Every time Muller gets on the ball, you know that his next pass is going to be an impactful one. Puts it into a dangerous area there, and Lumi just can't get on the end of it after it bounces free, and Ahmed is taken to the ground.
That nearly dropped into the feet of Lumi, didn't it? Buda against Ocampo. Coming over to help was Kubas. Roberts into the middle. Buck turns. You've seen the back line, Muni. Sees no option forwards, and now the touchline. Buda has it. Quick pass ahead by Buck, and on the different page from Ronaldo Vieira. Here's the win probability as we speak after that opening goal in the first half. Started at over 60%, now up over 80% in Whitecaps' favor. So good on the home pitch. Campo really backed in here with Laborda. Hoisted up. Roberts. Lumi held there briefly by Roberts, but cagey enough to elude the eyes of Rosendo Mendoza. And in fact, a foul going the other way against San Jose. Or for San Jose, that is. Looked like it was Roberts that was holding on, but he gets the benefit of the doubt. No changes to Jesper Sorensen's 11. A pair of yellow cards you see there. For San Jose, just the one change with Ian Harkes coming out in favor of Noel Buck. Moving it around. The right side, Espinosa angled off the ball. Illumi back to goal to Ahmed under some pressure. Down the touchline, Muller just keeps it alive. Hard pass to Ahmed. Back to Muller. Inside, through Illumi. To Martinez. Poked free by Kubas. Cagey defensive play there by the Paraguayan. One back by San Jose now, Martinez. Doesn't find an option immediately, holds on a second too long. He'll get a second opportunity and able to get it across for Buda. Buda's in some space now down the left side. Nelson catching up to him. Going centrally now in the ball. Sent in on goal harmlessly. Nobody on the other end of that one from Buda. Quick restart once again for Vancouver. Ahmed to Nelson. Nelson chipping that ahead to himself, held up. No call just yet. And the referee lets them play here. Arango leaving for Vieira. Runs into Kubas, and there's the call made.
Well, you don't see Jesper Sorensen get this animated, but he was all over the fourth official. He couldn't believe there wasn't a call when Nelson was dragged back. Referee's now speaking to Jesper Sorensen about what he saw, which is all that really matters in the end. And then at the end of the play, as Buda pulls down Kubas, that one was called.
Two of the more sedate, laid-back coaches in MLS in this one, so it has to be extraordinary for either one to get too animated. That one just gets past Berhalter. Chance Vieira spun now, and it's Vieira committing the foul. A couple of 50-50 calls where you have to really pay attention to see who's going to benefit. And the Whitecaps headed the other way, but your player down on the pitch. And it is Kubas who had just suffered that earlier foul. Studs came up accidentally there by Vieira as they got twisted up.
And it looks as if he's holding his wrist,
You're
though,
right.
is what
Yeah.
Andres Kubas goes to the ground, writhing in pain.
And he's biting his other hand to withstand the pain. That is not a good sight for Whitecaps fans.
Such an integral player for this team. He's the man that destroys everything in the middle of midfield and allows the Whitecaps to get the ball back into dangerous spots going the other way. And with so many players already missing for next week, is that a shoulder maybe?
He has had shoulder issues in the past, and it looks like they're trying to relocate it here right on the pitch. And he went down on that right arm initially.
And you see the words being mouthed there by Jesper Sorensen, Jivan, and that's Jivan Bodwell.
Already has the penny off. Now, if it's just a relocation, Whitecaps fans can exhale. But if it's something more serious than that, of course, everything coming with playoff ramifications on the mind of the Whitecaps. And Kubas is on his feet.
Yeah, that is a good sign. I think that maybe that's all it was popping it back in. I say that's all it was. We all know, well, I say this as a goalkeeper who's had my shoulder pop out 100 times, but that pain that you get immediately, and then the relief you get when it pops back in. Great for Whitecap fans to see Kubas, but I don't think that they'll take any further chance with him on the field. And that's who Badwell will come in for.
Might come on to chew up a minute or two if Jivan Badwell needs further instructions, but you're right. It would stand to reason he won't last long on the pitch here as we are halfway through the 56th minute at BC Place. Normally a guy like Ralph Priso would be available as a defensive midfielder, but he of course pulling down central defending duties, and he sends it back to the keeper right now. Takoka with some pressure, pass along the ground. Alumi held up a little bit there by Muni, able to get the pass to Ocampo. Kubas back on the pitch, at least for now. Tidy pass by Ocampo to find his keeper once more. Takoka,
so accomplished though. Look, I mean, he just puts it exactly where he wants. He plays a 50-yard ball forward to his center forward along the ground. You don't see that, but the midfielders do a good job of opening that up so we can play that centrally again, right into the feet of Berhalter and they're away.
Numbers ahead for the Whitecaps. Ahmed in wide open space on the left side. He's got it now against Kekanovic. Ahmed cutting back towards the middle. Open for Mueller. Mueller! Yes! Thomas Mueller has done it again. The German superstar proves his worth. It's 2-0 Vancouver.
And that all comes from that play out of the back from the goalkeeper, Takaoka. The Whitecaps in a set play situation, opening up the middle of the field. And that means that Takaoka can play the ball centrally into central midfield for Berhalter, who's wide open. The marking's atrocious from San Jose. And there's Takaoka, who's able to look at the space around Berhalter. 20, 25 yards, the nearest opponent. And he can just stroll forward, find Ahmed, who plays a nice ball here for Thomas Mueller. He knows what to do with it. Short back lift, pings it into the corner. Whitecaps lead 2-0.
Sixth goal from outside the box this season for the Whitecaps. This one from Mueller. And tucked in nicely for his fifth in MLS play. And a multi-goal lead now for the home side. An uphill battle for San Jose to realistically, never mind mathematically, keep their playoff hopes alive.
Part of that is down to the man-oriented defense that San Jose has. Jesper Sorensen saying they needed to tweak their game a little bit to play an opponent like that. They have their players drag the San Jose players wide to open up that space centrally. But it's a gap that is far too big for the Earthquakes to leave. And it means that a situation like this again, Takaoka is able to pick out Alumi, and away go the Caps. They need to sort that out one way or another, San Jose, to get more pressure centrally, or don't allow the goalkeeper to ping it out from the back in the first place.
Saw the live standings there. Remember, San Diego has one more victory than the Whitecaps, but the Whitecaps, even at the end of this match, will still have a game in hand on San Diego. So really know officially what this looks like until the game versus Orlando is in the books. Ahmed charging towards the box once again, goes centrally looking for Lumi. Second effort, and he stepped on the foot of Vieira. Meanwhile, what this effort looks like for San Jose currently behind in points and even leapfrog somebody to get even to the 10th position. So it is situation dire for Bruce Arena.
They do have the home game against Austin, although they haven't been great at home, as we mentioned before, but still in with the hunt to claim one of the last playoff spots. Obviously need help from out of town as well, but they'd like to try to get something from this game here.
Floats out on San Jose. Fans, don't forget, no match day is complete till MLS wrap-up brings you every goal, and they debate the biggest and most thrilling moments of the week. It's all coming your way tonight at 11:30 Eastern Time.
9 goal contributions now for Thomas Muller in the last 5 games. He's got 7 in MLS in just over 300 minutes.
Boy, he and Sonny are really battling for
incredible
MLS mid-season supremacy. The two of them are goal contribution machines right now. Berhalter for Priso, floating that wide for Tate Johnson. Johnson. Is there. He's in deep and ran into the ball, tucked it towards Daniel. The Matchday Live scores are presented by AT&T. Most of this Matchday 38 action, of course, coming yesterday on Saturday night, Miami. A couple from Jordi Alba getting a 4-1 win over the Revs. Chicago would have loved the full 3 points there. They're looking good at the playoffs here. You know, they get a 2-2 draw. Nevertheless, with TFC, San Diego doubling up Houston 4-2, which is why the Whitecaps are still in the chase position. Muller leaving that for Kubas, who has remained in the game. There was no urgent departure here from the Whitecaps, which is interesting. It really tells you how comfortable he is with that shoulder being relocated.
I am surprised, though, even with it slotting back into place. The Whitecaps, especially now, they look comfortable. Now, you can never count out the Earthquakes, who have that attacking prowess, but Vancouver very much in control right now, and you'd think you wouldn't want to risk that at all.
Campo forcing the issue, and Roberts having to spoil that across the touchline. Nelson for Illumi. Youngster makes the turn, back for Berhalter. Trying to find Ahmed in the corner. Kikonovic is watching him.
Beautiful pass.
Ahmed creates the corner as he was looking to find Illumi with his left foot. And Berhalter begins the walk into that far side.
And the Earthquakes are about to make a line change here. 3 for the price of 1. Romney, Judd, and Ricketts set to come on. That will change the game.
And you wonder if they still leave on the trio up front. You'd have to think, despite none of them really having a profound impact so far, you have to play the odds that they will rise up when the moment presents itself.
We haven't seen Christian Espinoza in this second half get on the ball at all as we did in the first.
Berhalter in swinging ball was near post. Illumi didn't get it though. Nelson across for Ahmed. For Priso. 2 Canadians exchanging the ball. Now back to Muller. Side for Illumi, gets it back to Muller. A little bit of a heavy touch was necessitated, and the Earthquakes just clear it.
That wasn't a good touch from Illumi, but he's getting into good positions and having a good understanding with Muller of where to play along the edge of the 18, so that he gets the ball in and gives it back. It was the right idea, just not the best execution. But it's amazing that you can get that development so quickly from a player playing in what his 4th, 5th game here. And you could say the same thing about Thomas Muller, who's only been with the Whitecaps for a short period of time. But building that understanding, not just for this season, of course, but for the future for the young player, is a bright sign.
And if you're Muller, you've got to have a little bit of patience. It's not Lewandowski or Harry Kane, but it's a skilled player nevertheless. Laporta holding up. Fabulous ball ahead for Muller.
There's just too many line-breaking passes for the Whitecaps. They're bypassing the midfield.
Campo has Nelson with him on the underlapping run. Instead, tucked back for Berhalter, ahead for Muller. Lumi darting through, nearly given away, but Kubas picks up the crumbs. Up ahead to Ahmed. Dave Johnson is there, deep inside the box, tucking it back for Lumi. He let it go. Thought Muller was maybe behind him, but now Berhalter. Muller right at Danielle, who makes the stop. Well built by the Whitecaps, but Danielle in the right spot.
They get so many players in positive positions that if it misses one player with a cutback, there's another in Berhalter making up the ground to keep it alive. He did the right thing trying to set up Muller, and Muller put it right at the goalkeeper.
And that might be a season-saving save for Danielle if there's a rally in the Quakes here in this one. And the substitution will come here for San Jose on the foul. And night is over for Max Floriani. Eseni Buda as well coming off. And Benji Kikanovic as well. So the big three do stay on indeed.
And it looks like Judd will go forward. Orango will drop back just a bit. 3-5-2 is how it looks for San Jose.
So we'll see what this new look Earthquakes lineup can do. As Nelson tries to beat Roberts and nearly did make the play on him in the box. Ricketts plays it up the line, knocked down. Berhalter taken out, and it'll be a very quick booking for Preston Judd coming back defensively.
And I don't think necessarily anything egregious to try to take out Berhalter, but both players running at full tilt towards that ball. Berhalter takes the worst of it, and the referee feels that a yellow card should be pulled out right away for captain of Grit FC, a player who scored a lot of his goal-scoring contributions after the 70th minute. Just a collision there with Berhalter.
So another free kick here for Berhalter from certainly a makeable spot. So try to curl this just inside the box and have somebody run onto it, and maybe put this game out of reach for San Jose. Desperation defending now for San Jose in front of Danielle. Here it comes from Berhalter. It's right at the keeper, however. And a push right at the edge of the box negated that effort anyhow. The player comparison is presented by Celsius, pure passion and maximum energy with zero sugar. And the two magicians of the midfield that are tasked with creating the offense there, Muller and Espinoza. And the German been a little busier than the Argentine.
And obviously that is the case that the Whitecaps have had the majority of the ball, but it's also the way that they create their passing opportunities for themselves as well. Muller likes to get around the edge of the box, lots of one-touch in close 3, 4, 5-yard passes, where Espinoza likes to get on it and look for that long ball forward. And we saw it a couple of times in the first half for Espinoza, where he's able to get some space and play it into the channels. Not once can I recall in the second half has he been able to get on the ball. A lot of that, again, down to good Whitecap pressure around the number 10 as well.
Romney. Vieira tucking that back into the corner. Espinoza trying to swing it for Arango, did not connect, and now Berhalter and Priso play some catch defensively for the Whitecaps. Kubas chipping that ahead. Thought he had the same wavelength as Mueller. No Buck. Diagonal ball right into the feet of Ocampo, however. Yohei Takaoka drives the ball forward for Mueller. Faked the flick on it. Lumi couldn't catch it. Roberts going across from Muni. Malumi with the press. Danielle gives it away. Kubas from distance will try the keeper. Bobbled it briefly, but well under control from Danielle.
Takaoka, from his balls forward centrally, has been almost perfect picking somebody out. And then on the opposite side, Danielle gives it right back to Kubas there.
And another here. But Espinosa able to help out his teammate. Ocampo hitting that forward for Nelson. Shoulder to shoulder with Ricketts, who comes away with it. Vieira. Buck with the turn away from Nelson. Creates some space for himself, and now Vieira. Former Leeds United man, Sampdoria. Going wide for Ricketts. Can't turn the corner on Ocampo. And yet Nelson gives it back. Vieira, edge of the box, whipped it in and sent elsewhere by Priso. It'll be a deep throw now for San Jose, as Vieira did well to get inside the box.
And a great stinging pass into the area. Dangerous spot. Cleared away, but nice work from Vieira down the left side.
Roberts challenged by Nelson. Possession continues here for San Jose. First bit of prolonged possession. The offensive happened some time, but make that a goal kick, because that just did clip the foot of Vieira as he reached back for it.
There's not been a lot of team play from San Jose in terms of the build at all. It really has been down to individuals needing to try something and have something come off, but you haven't seen a lot of cohesiveness, especially with the changes now.
And a couple of changes for the Whitecaps as the race is run for the young goal scorer and Ryan Alumi. Daniel Rios will come and take him off. And Jeevan Badwal will come into the match as well, as Andres Kubas will finally get the rest that we talked about after suffering the injury earlier.
And I had asked Jesper Sorensen why Daniel Rios wouldn't start in this situation. He is struggling with a little bit of a thigh injury, nothing too ominous, obviously, for him to be able to come in here. But some of it was about the development of Alumi in a important game for the Whitecaps. And boy, did he have a great game here this afternoon through 70 minutes.
Battle wins the ball in a 50-50 scenario. Rios, his first touch. A bit of a clumsy one. Gives it right back to the Earthquakes, and Ricketts will leave it there. Hopeful ball. Battling forward is Judd. Hemmed into the corner a little bit. Still San Jose ball. Ricketts forward to take the throw in. Getting it back. Got away from the touchline, but Ocampo spins. Clears it as far as Roberts. Buck beginning the switch over to Muni. Gets away from Ahmed nicely. Muni into the corner for Espinosa. Back for Daniel Muni. Espinosa, another double-digit season in assists, and Yohei Takaoka makes sure that's not another one.
That's his poorest clearance as well. He had Rios in a 1v1 situation, popped it up.
Good effort though by Rios. Ahmed back to Johnson. Johnson will hold, and now it's Priso. The makeshift center back over to Ocampo on the right side. Ricketts in front of him. A stop and start. Created some space. Berhalter. Perfect ball into the corner for Ahmed. Working now not against Kikanovic, but against Muni. Holds up. Muni staying with him so far. The cross. Out for Jeevan Badwal. Berhalter from distance. Perfect. season for Seth Berhalter and the Whitecaps. It's 3-0 Vancouver.
What a confident finish. It's actually the perfect distance for him as well. You feel that sometimes a little bit closer, you put the power through and it goes over. But from that distance, it can sail and dip right at the last minute into the top corner. A beautiful strike from Sebastian Berhalter as the Whitecaps piling it on. It starts with his nice ball to the flank. And then when Ali Ahmed runs at Muni, he drags the San Jose defense all the way back inside the area. Badwell just lays it off. Look at the space again, though. Nobody around Berhalter. He says, I'm just going to have a poke from here. And he drives through it beautifully.
The confidence from 24-year-old Seb Berhalter just sky high. 2 goal contributions today. 3 goals, 11 assists now on the year for Seb Berhalter.
And 7 and 15 across all comps. And again, the Whitecaps playing in so many different competitions, but the amount of kilometers, miles that Sebastian Berhalter has put on this year in this game-packed season.
And this ball ahead for Thomas Mueller. Goes awry, but Nelson keeping the possession alive. Berhalter's assist, by the way, ties him with Pedro Morales now for assists in the MLS era of the Whitecaps. His 26th assist. And Badwell fouled by Arango in a duel that lasted for seconds.
And Ryan Gauld up off the Whitecap bench. That's the other buzz in the crowd right now. After a terrific goal that the Whitecaps just scored. Good work from Bodwell there to lay on the goal and win this free kick.
At 3-0, 3 points looking more and more certain for the Whitecaps. So these live standings showing the Whitecaps locked at 60 points with San Diego right now. And the goal differential now at +28.
Vancouver still with a game in hand that they'll play next week in Orlando. And the wins column so important. Playing that top spot in the West.
Decision day lining up to be a fun one in the Western Conference.
Why doesn't he just shoot from here? It's the exact same spot.
You're right. Instead, the chip for Mueller tried to go back post, cleared by San Jose. Kenji Cabrera and Ryan Gauld set to come on for Vancouver. And that's a couple of pretty good players off the bench for the Whitecaps, so no rest for San Jose. Badwell dropping that for Ahmed. And tuck it through the line. Tate Johnson for Berhalter. Chipping that for Badwell and just floated it. Not too many mistakes from Seb Berhalter these days. And the substitutions set to come on here. The night is over for both Seb Berhalter and Jaden Nelson. Ryan Gauld and Kenji Cabrera. Now, pardon me, I saw Berhalter making the move. He'll stay on. It'll be Ahmed and Nelson, the 2 wide players coming off for Vancouver.
2 players going on Canadian international duty this week. And Kenji Cabrera, an opportunity to get some more minutes. And Ryan Gauld, of course, the big story here in Vancouver, out since March. Made his first appearance in a Whitecap uniform Wednesday night in the Canadian Championship. Scored a goal in his first touch. And Jesper Sorensen said, what do you want from goal? He said, the same as he did tonight. Touch it and score.
And now here comes San Jose down the other side. The cross is off of Matias Laborda. And it'll be a corner kick, and some positivity there for San Jose for the first time in a while.
A dozen minutes left to try to get something from this. Looks highly unlikely. But a set piece could be one way to get themselves back into it.
The last second substitution here right as the corner is happening as Bolaru will come on. Taking off Ronaldo Vieira. Espinosa in the corner would love to add another assist. Double-digit assist for the 4th straight year, and only 6 players in MLS have done that in the last 20 years. Pretty star-studded group, to be sure. Mix of Hill, Acosta, and others. Former Quake Brad Davis in that group. He did it with Houston, though. Towards goal, Laporta to the spot and cleared by Ryan Gauld. And they get a foul called in their favor inside the area as well, so it's Vancouver ball.
So he does get a chance here to play with Thomas Muller. And he gets himself involved right away, Ryan Gauld.
This exclusive netcam replay brought to you by T-Mobile. Here's what Yohei Takaoka was looking at. Never in too much danger, was he? The fine defending of Laporta in front of him. Laporta hands it back to his keeper. Berhalter tucking it wide, and the Uruguayan is away. Looking for Muller. Did well to receive that. Rios. Berhalter. And it's Cabrera, who's now wide left for Vancouver. Dave Johnson. A little bit of trouble. Back for Berhalter. Cabrera. Johnson in the corner. Back for Muller. And wins the corner. Muni was back defending.
Yeah, Muller was trying to play an outside of the right foot pass back outside the 18 to Gauld, who made the run inside. So it'll take some time for an understanding to come together for these two, who have trained over the last couple of weeks. Ryan Gauld, intense training only since probably the last 2 or 3 weeks. Fitness is way off. That's the issue for him right now. It was a bone bruise that was near the knee that he took in March against Montreal here. And to finally get some game minutes, huge for him.
Berhalter has a trio of targets inside the 6. Never arrives, but Muller there at the edge of the box puts it back in. Defended well by San Jose. Back the other way. Judd tripped up by Gauld, who was tracking back, and the captain showing his defensive worth.
Of course he was. Incredible work ethic is one of the things, his trademarks, Ryan Gauld.
Badwall in the turn. Arango right on him, so quickly offloads to Ocampo, who's under pressure from Judd. Again, you could argue, well, not mathematically, the season is on the line here for San Jose, but probably just not enough minutes left in this match, down by 3. Laporta nearly given away. Nervy moment there as it's popped up, but that's still in play for Takaoka. Takaoka looking downfield. It's headed away. Whitecaps will settle for the throw. So here's a look at the bottom of the Western Conference playoff picture, and there is San Jose now at -4 goals differential on the season, and need a lot of help on the out-of-town scoreboard on decision day. Push forward for Badwall. Badwall with the cross. There's Ryan Gauld laying it off. Muller blocked in front.
Two very unselfish players as well. Ryan Gauld could have taken that and had a shot himself. Lays it off for Muller.
Berhalter. Rios. Laying off for Ocampo. Wide for Cabrera. Moving. Tracking back. He'll be gone for the international window versus Orlando. Cabrera wings that through. And Ocampo saw that screen past him. Judd in the battle with Laporta, gets past him. Now the ball through to Joseph Martinez. Christian Espinoza tries his shot and is blocked by Tate Johnson. And it's maybe plays like this where Yohei Takaoka won't get much consideration for goalkeeper of the year despite 13 clean sheets, because his defenders are doing this.
Johnson coming back, getting in the lane of Espinoza, sticking out the left foot. And you see what it means when a defender makes a good play as well. We saw it earlier in the game when Danielle made a good save, and Johnson cheering himself and getting the crowd going with that stop.
Espinoza curling towards the dot. Laporta first up to get it. Cabrera swings it. Not deep enough, though. Espinoza will get some pocket change from this corner. Whipped in front again. Priso nearly got it perfectly to Muller, but it will be Whitecaps ball on the far touchline. So as for those Earthquakes, back in action on decision day, October the 18th, as they host Austin FC at PayPal Park. Action kicks off at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on your MLS season pass. And they will hope that they get a lot of help to have this season be a playoff one for them. Of course, Bruce Arena wants to make the playoffs every time he's in charge of a squad, but you got the feeling too that he's got bigger dreams next year and the year after that. And this is just the start. He's got that front core, of course, the goal scoring not in doubt. Campo touching that back for Muller. Holding and not liking what he sees forward. Retreats to the back line. Should this score hold, Yohei Takaoka chasing the club record, looking to tie with David Osted. 14 clean sheets in an MLS season. More wide for Johnson. Berhalter gave it away to Arango. Arango from distance, again blocked. Judd outside the area, ricocheted ball will bound towards Takaoka, and he fends it off. Has more time to tick off the clock. He'll wait for Preston Judd to encroach, and now it's into the waiting arms of the goalkeeper.
Good time for the Whitecaps to be on a good roll. They had a little bit of a purple patch in the middle of the year not too many weeks ago, but it's 9 undefeated across all comps right now, looking like it's about to be 10. Tough game next week down in Orlando before coming home and finishing off the year against a team in Dallas that'll be wanting to scrape into the playoffs as well.
The young Australian Giuseppe Bovalina coming in for some mop-up duty with Eddie Recampo. Young Colombian on the touchline. Romney starting the build here for San Jose. Espinoza has to chase it all the way back for Danielle. Buck able to knock that pass down. Given away though by San Jose. Priso dribbling his way forward. Gauld into the corner for Kenji Cabrera. Muller. Berhalter. And back for Cabrera once more. Thought about loading up for a cross. Instead, we'll stretch things out a little bit. And complete control here for the Whitecaps. Chipped ahead. Badwal. Behind Rios. Gauld stopped by Danielle. Didn't get all of it. The Scotsman's still working on that, but he's had a couple of great plays here since coming on late for Vancouver.
Just so impressed too with Thomas Muller throughout the game. In a period of the game when you think the Whitecaps could take the foot off the gas, he continues to coach his players, wave his arms, expect more right till the death. He's got that winning mentality that we've just wants the team to continue to play.
Arango harried away there by Tak.
Bit of a tricky one because of the sting behind the strike. It was a good shot from Arango. Lots of power. Just put the hands up and hope for the best.
Had a little half volley in his favor, so it was teed up nicely for him. Arango back into the corner now. Curling towards the edge of the 6. Laborda ejects it. Now a chance from distance. Ricochets in. And San Jose gets a late one. It's 3-1.
What a strike from Bo LaRue. Everything behind it. Obviously aided by the deflection, but that is a pure strike. And still with a couple of minutes plus stoppage time. Is there something here where San Jose can get a spark from that? Good ball in from Espinoza, as it always is. It's a good clearance actually from Laborda, but good take Good touch. And then the touch on the way is what makes it impossible for the goalkeeper to make the save.
We'll check it for offside. If it's good, it'll be the third goal for either side here from outside the box in the match this afternoon.
And it looks like it's Bovalina from the Whitecaps that deflects that there. Martinez coming out slowly. That could be the question, but there's absolutely no chance that should be chalked off for offside.
Well, he is in play.
Yeah, but he's miles away from the keeper. That would be a real shame. No.
And we are back underway. 3-1 it is here in the late stages. 90th minute already underway, and it was the Kubas injury, so we do have some added time coming our way.
They score the goals, don't they? That's 19 now that they've scored in a row. Rarely shut out.
And here they come again. Martinez to Ricketts in space. Is this it here for San Jose? And a fabulous strike steered aside by Takaoka.
Good save. You had to get down low. Walk behind that one as well. Trying to sneak it in the near post.
It's a corner here and 7 minutes of added time. So there's life in San Jose yet. Arango sprinted, or pardon me, Espinosa sprinting into the corner to make sure they get this corner off quickly. Here it comes. Curly towards goal. Flicked away. And what's the call? It'll come back into the corner on the other side as Espinosa makes the long run.
Those are so dangerous for goalkeepers with pace, relatively flat. And it takes a nice header there from Bovalina to steer it away from danger.
It'll actually be Bolaru now. Espinosa not wanting to waste the time of him running all the way over. Comes across. Now he's got it on his left foot. Chipping that towards goal. Yohei Takaoka skies above the rest to make the stop and prevent that one from being finished.
Short corner for Espinosa. Comes in from a different angle here. Goalkeeper's always favored. Just a little clumsy on the fall down. Not sure exactly. Perhaps at the lower back, jarring the ground. Well, it looks like he's going towards the bottom of his left leg, but I'm sure Takaoka's fine. He's trying to settle things a little bit here. The Whitecaps under some pressure now as San Jose throws everything forward in these last few minutes.
Takaoka has not been a busy man. 4 shots on target in the match for San Jose. Cabrera flicking that one ahead. Rios knocking it down, hooking another look at it. Rios, edge of the box, tries his shot, squirts free from Mueller. Out for Berhalter. He'll give it a ride again. Another one! Berhalter with the brace! And that'll do it at BC Place.
You talked about Christian Espinosa's office earlier in the game being in the corner. Well, this central part of the goal is Sebastian Berhalter's area, right in the center midfield, 10 yards from the edge of the box, lines one up again and swings through with not a ton of power, but tremendous accuracy. And perhaps, Danielle, a little bit unsighted. It's a good distance. You'd think that the keeper would be able to get over and push that around the post. But it's an excellent strike, again from Mueller, who sees Berhalter in all sorts of space, far too much space, and he can just pick his spot.
Goal contributions continue to flood in from both of these players, Berhalter and Mueller. What a season the Whitecaps are having. Everybody reaching new highs, setting the bar sky high. Bovalina pushed off the ball rather easily there. Ricketts back onto it, but with the margin back out to 3 goals. It's just too big a mountain here for San Jose. Ryan Gauld dribbling out of the crowd with it. Rios trying to protect. Leaves it for Bovalina. Couldn't find Kenji Cabrera. Now Muni sends it back in. They'll let that get through all the way to Takaoka. 4th minute of added time out of 7. but it's 4-1 Vancouver. Rios holds it up, and now Berhalter into Kenji Cabrera. Mueller on the overlap. One more cross from the German, gets through beyond the reach of Rios. And Cabrera making the run all.
Thomas Mueller to find the space and play the simple pass into the man in a good spot helps in that regard, but San Jose's made it far too easy and too much space for the best players on the Whitecaps to be able to do whatever they've wanted here today.
Preston Judd, LaRue, and now Espinosa. All at the edge of the box. So the Whitecaps will keep their dreams of the Western Conference top seed alive, going into their penultimate match of the season next week in Orlando. But with a skeleton crew of players ready to attend in the international window. And no foul there. That one will be a goal kick. Ricketts finds that a little bit too much to take.
Well, at 3-1, Ricketts with a shot that forced a really good save from Takoki. You just wondered, does that sneak in? How the next 5 minutes of stoppage time plays out, but Berhalter right back the other way. Spoils any chance of a comeback and seals the points for the Whitecaps. A pretty comprehensive victory for Vancouver here today, all things said. Really controlled the game from the outset. High pressure, turning the ball over a lot, scoring that set-piece goal in the first half. And it's been pretty smooth sailing. As I say, not enough pressure defensively to really worry Vancouver in any regard here through the second 45.
2 goals, 1 assist for Berhalter. So he's up to 4 and 11, and that is just an MLS play. The stats get more gaudy for him when you include Canadian Championship and CONCACAF Champions Cup.
I'm at 8 now in terms of goals, with the 2 here today for him in all comps.
And Mueller with 1 and 1. He's adding to his heady stats as well. So he played out of the back by San Jose, and that foot comes up from Judd on Laborda, who is anxiously waiting for some help, I'm sure, on the back line, relishing the playing time. But you think Laborda's in the best 11 for Vancouver anyhow, whether he's a fullback or center back. But some mid-season acquisitions are starting to come healthy for the Whitecaps. Judrik Pupa, coming out of the Belgian league, should be available for Orlando. Berhalter pinging that ball ahead, looking for Rios in a battle. Wins it. Couldn't get the centering pass. Now for Gauld. Settles the ball. Ryan Gauld can't get the shot away. Stuck in deep with Bovalina. Creeping in from his right-hand flank, the Australian nearly able to get a point-blank shot away.
You thought that was going to be 2 goals and 2 sub-appearances for Ryan Gauld. Took it from his favored left foot onto his right. He's good with either foot. Nice block in the end, though. Snuffed out that chance.
This should be it. Zito Mendoza